back to Alkaline TV. This is the Alkaline Vegan podcast, number 2, second one ever, so welcome. And we're doing these live, so if you have questions, you can ask them, and then I'll get to them at the end of the video. Thank you so much for the feedback. Somebody recommended yesterday that I get directly into the point, so let's get right into the point. Today we're talking about juicing tips, or is it juicing tips? Okay, so I have some bullet points here that I want to talk about, and then we'll get into any questions if there are any. And as always, I appreciate everyone subscribing. There's been a lot of new subscribers recently, and I appreciate all your feedback, especially. If you are trying to go alkaline and having difficulty and need support, you can reach out to me. In the description, there's a lot of links. At the bottom of it, you can reach out to me. So the first tip for the first one is just a comparison between what type of juicer. There's some talk about what the different type of juicers do, and there are 2 different types that I have. I have both of them, luckily, and one of them was very inexpensive, and one of them was free, so actually, but I think that one was a little more costly. And I've lived in different places, so I used to have different juicers when I lived in another country. I had to, couldn't bring that overseas. So I've had several juicers over the years, and my favorite one is the cheapest one, honestly. There are things about it that are annoying, and it hasn't broken yet, but I wouldn't be surprised if it breaks. However, it's been going strong so far, so I have to give it credit. It is called, it's a funny name to me, but it's called a Masticating Juicer. And the other one is called a Power Juicer. So basically, all fun and games aside, one of them the Power Juicer smashes the fruit or whatever vegetables directly into a spinning grate that juices it. A masticating juicer, it kind of crunches it up and chews it, because masticating means to chew, if you didn't know. I learn something new every day. So it kind of crushes it up. Once you push it down, then it crushes it sideways and kind of chews it up, and then it grinds it into like a grate, just like the Power one. But first it has broken it up into smaller chunks. So that's the difference, and supposedly the Power Juicer, there gets more oxidation and it breaks down more quickly. So the juice from the masticating juicer is supposedly more nutritious and can last a little longer if you want to save it for later. But usually I drink it right away. And I tried both of them yesterday back to back, and the Power Juicer does oxidize the fruit right away. So it turns brown quickly. So, I mean, both of them are great if you have one or the other. If you have a juicer at all, I would get it out and dust it off and start using it. And honestly, this isn't one of my bullet points, but there are some great benefits to juicing that I want to talk about, because that's the best thing, is that I've been feeling amazing, and you don't really crave food. Or for me, I haven't been getting hungry at all until I noticed about 6:30 p.m. It's crazy. So all day long, and I don't even think about food while I'm juicing. And then maybe in the evening, I felt like, I feel like habitually it's dinner time or something. Like it's more like a habit than me being really hungry. Then all I do is take some sea moss, drink some more juice. Solved. And it's very satisfying. So it all depends on the quality of the ingredients, like I say in my cooking videos. The quality of the fruit or vegetables are gonna determine how good it is. If you're juicing junk, it's not gonna be as good. However, it's probably gonna be way better than any juice you would ever buy at the store. Thank you for the thumbs up. I appreciate that. We're live, so thank you. So let's see, what to juice is the next bullet point. What to juice, what to juice? Well, it's such an easier decision than what to cook, isn't it? Especially for me, because sometimes what I'm cooking takes weeks of research and nerding out on 10 or 20 different videos. If it's something that I don't have experience cooking, I really dig in before, because I'm putting content out there, so I can't just throw something together and expect it to. Although usually when I do throw things together, they are good because the experience pays off, and the quality of the food, keep it simple, combined can be really good. So what to juice? My favorites, or the easiest for me, number one, I think, favorite is melon. It's easy, it's big, it's juicy, it's alkaline. What more could you want? Now, of course, the melon should have seeds in it. We're talking about most melon other than that GMO watermelon. But cantaloupe, I used to never really like it, but you have to make sure it's ripe. As long as it's ripe, that makes me really happy. I mean, cantaloupe juice, it's so sweet that it's like you're just tapping straight into the candy nectar of the gods or something. That can be too sweet for some people, so if you don't like super sweets, then my other favorites, which I just had right now, but I finished it already. As you can see, the Masticating Juicer, if you're tuning in late, that's a real thing, and it's the word for the type of juicer I have. Leaves a little bit of foam on the apple juice, but it's not a big deal. Sometimes I filter some of it out and keep it. It makes like an apple sauce, and you can eat it with a spoon. It's really good. And also there are some fun things which aren't in my bullet points, but there's a lot of different tips I'm coming up with that you can make things with the pulp left over from the juicer. If you cut the seeds out, or, depending on what you're juicing, this doesn't work for everything, but depending on what you're juicing, you can reuse the pulp that comes out, the waste, and make some awesome stuff out of it. Jam or sauce, or you can add it to cookies, cobbler. I mean, if you're creative, it's endless. And as long as you took the seeds out so that there's not, chunky seeds in there. But that's a no-brainer. You should understand that. So other than melon and apple, cucumber, which is not my favorite, honestly, but it's related to melon. Cucumber and melons are very similar, and cucumbers are technically a fruit, if you didn't know that. So there's another new one for some people. But, even though it's not my favorite, it's easy, it's quick, and sometimes you're sick of apple all the time, and you want some kind of veggie to mix it up. So cucumber juice is like a fresh, slightly green water that tastes kind of like, that's, kind of cleansing feel. And it has that green, fresh plant taste that it can be refreshing, even though it's not my favorite. Something you can add to your cucumber juice to make it better, Well, two things, well, three things if you really want to, are ginger, fresh ginger. Cut a small slice. You don't need too much. And then, if that wasn't enough for you, next time you can add a little more. But start small because ginger can be really spicy when it's fresh. And you can add some ginger to your cucumber juice. And if that's not good enough, you could also add ginger to your apple juice. But I think cucumber sometimes needs a little something else. You can also add a little bit of cayenne pepper. If you don't have a juice, you can just shake a little or pinch of dry cayenne powder into your cucumber ginger, and you can squeeze key lime into it. Mwah, there you go. Fixed the cucumber problem. And then let's see what else I have here. Tomatillo is not bad. And the paste makes, I'll have some recipes, I'm sure, eventually coming out with that leftover tomatillo that comes out, because that's a really good flavor. Nice and tart and fresh and sour. Pear is a good one. Plum is good, and they have to be ripe. Plums, they're often out of season. If you can get it locally, if you can grow it yourself, it's always better, of course. But, sometimes the stuff you get in the store, you have to really let it ripen because it's been shipped in from far away and probably tampered with as well. So, let's see. So the plum, how do you know if a melon is ripe? That's another thing I have here. The way to know if a melon is ripe, because if melons aren't ripe, they're gross. But if they're ripe, they're one of the best and one of my favorite foods. The end with the stem. So there's an end with the stem where it's been cut off, and then there's an opposite end where you can see a little circle. The opposite end of the stem, you can push on that and it should start pushing in. And if your thumb goes right through it, it's overripe. But if it's hard, then it's not ripe yet. And I wait until they're very ripe and there's a fine window before they get rotten, when it's really the best. And it's just, if you ripen it, a little bit of experience doing this and it's easy. But, the first few times buying a lot of melons, if you eat some of them and they're underdone, you could think, ugh, these melons are awful. So that's something to consider. All right, next thing, what else should you have while you're juicing? Thank you for the thumbs up, by the way. I appreciate that. And you should be taking, I would recommend at least to be taking sea moss every single day of your life. From my experience, I don't go a day without on purpose. And that's, something that I really keep an eye on, because if I run out of it for a couple weeks or something and just the time slips by, then the sicknesses can start kind of creeping back. And no way. I have no tolerance. If you know my story from my past, I can't deal with getting sick ever again. I can't do that. It's just wouldn't work for me. I wouldn't be here. So I have to be super careful to make sure I have plenty of sea moss and bladderwrack. But as long as I do, then all is good. All is good. And let's see. But that's not just for juicing. That's for every day for me. But especially while you're juicing, the sea moss and bladderwrack, if you have them both, both of them would be ideal. Just sea moss would be great as well. Do what you can. and you can take that while you juice, and you can take the tea. I have another video. I did a live video of a bunch of different tea that I had all brought out, like 10 different types of alkaline herbs. So you can refer back to that video for some of my favorites. And right here I have right next to me, go figure, Sarsaparilla Tea, and it's about gone because I'm powered up from it already. So basically, this is all I've had today. I've had one giant cup of strong sarsaparilla tea, and then at 4 p.m. or so, right before I did this video, I drank this large apple juice. This was 6 apples. That's insane. So that's quite a lot of energy in there. And I feel amazing. So like I didn't even eat. I feel great. You don't have to worry so much about the cravings. I think that's what people might worry about. But if you're juicing really good ingredients, you'll be very satisfied. And the juice will be so good. It's better than whatever you were going to cook. And then you can save all that. There's no dishes piling up the insane recipes that I make sometimes lay waste to the kitchen, and it takes 2 loads of dishwasher, or it's crazy. So when you juice, there's just 1 cup and the juicer. And yeah, if you're juicing all day, you don't have to wash it every time. You just would wash it at night, and or rinse it off in between to make it easier so stuff doesn't crust on. But the cheaper one I have is pretty easy and small. I should have a link. I should put a link to that. Maybe we got it online somewhere, and I think it was under $100, I believe. But I'm waiting for it to break, and it doesn't. So we'll see. It is pretty cheap, but at the same time, it's doing well. So I'm reluctant to totally recommend it, but it gets the job done for those of you that are on a tight budget and don't have a juicer yet. Let's see. Okay. My last bullet point is what to break the juice cleanse with. It's not really, most people don't consider juicing fasting because the natural sugars in the juice would technically break a fast. But anyway, it's not a big deal to me what you call it. You could call it juice cleansing, juice fasting, whatever, juicing, call it whatever you want. It's great. And as long as you're juicing the alkaline stuff from the list and not carrots and celery and stuff that then other people are juicing that I would not recommend. But breaking the juice cleanse, what should you eat when you finally do eat? Well, I did a juice week last week, and then I ate on the weekend, and then I'm juicing again now. And I was actually, after eating, I felt like, I don't know if I really wanted to eat or needed to eat. It kind of felt like a mistake. Like, ugh, kind of. But so I would recommend something very light, maybe lightly steamed, warm, not cold, not fat for the first meal, and something kind of soft, not fatty, not with hard edges. You want to make it easy on yourself, make it easy on your stomach. Your stomach's just been getting juice, and your stomach is loving it. My stomach is loving the juice fasting, or juicing, whatever. So once you do eat, then it's going to be like, uh-oh, what's going on here? All right, get out the equipment. We've got food to digest. and like your gut wakens up and gets to work, and you'll feel like, whoa, uh, all this stuff start happening, and it takes a lot of your energy away from what you're doing. So that's another positive that I notice while I'm juicing, is that I feel more productive. I mean, I'm making this video right now. I did one yesterday, and I have a bunch of projects going on. If you didn't know, I'm writing a book and blah, blah, blah. So for me, this is great. I'm getting more done. I feel better. There's no dishes piling up, and I have plenty of energy. And yeah, it's everything about it is awesome. So breaking it, you want to just get something easy on yourself, easy to digest, that isn't too spicy or oily. You might want to avoid oil or fat for the first meal, and then maybe slowly reintroduce it, the next day if you're gonna, start eating again. But I think you'll notice that you'll be fuller quicker once you start eating, and you'll be satisfied easier, and you'll realize too how long it takes things to get through your digestive tract. Because if you go a week or 2 weeks or longer without eating solid food with just juice, then you'll be able to keep track of your digestion without being too gross. I'm trying to kind of wink, wink. You'll see how long that it took from the very last thing that you ate days and days ago. It's very interesting, and only you can experience that yourself. And that is a leveling up in some way, because you need to get to know your own body, and this will help a lot. So I hope that helps. I hope those were some good tips. And if you have any questions, I will answer them now. If not, then we'll be signing out. So I touched on everything I wanted to touch on. I got all my bullet points out of the way and a bunch of extra bonus tips. So that's all that I have prepared. If you want to ask questions, please do. I'll stick around for a couple minutes. I know there's a little bit of a lag, so I'll give you a minute or two to type out your question if you have any. And if you do not, then I will be on my way, because I am in super productive mode. And the Matto Music 805 said, "You smoke herb." What herb are we talking? There are lots of herbs, and most of them are not smoked, but can be. Ganja. Asking me if I smoke ganja. That's funny. Well, that's illegal. That's illegal to talk about where I live. But there are other places in the world where it's legal. So let's go there and talk about it. I would love to see what it's like to be somewhere that I was just talking to someone about this the other day, about imagine that some plant like ginger, growing ginger, imagine growing ginger was suddenly illegal. It's just like, you can't even wrap your mind around it. It's so absurd. So that's the strange world we live in, where America used to be free, and they claim to have freedom. I didn't notice it. Did you? Where did the freedom go, and when did it go? It's slowly slipped away over the last 100 years. By the time I was born, I think it was gone already. What a shame. What if? What a, if you really want to get into a rant, yeah, this is real talk. This is frustrating. Well, okay, sorry, I started getting notifications on my phone. I'm gonna upgrade this setup soon because it's really difficult using the phone as the camera. It's causing me all kinds of issues behind the scenes that are causing a delay for me to get the recipe videos out quicker. And this Apple product, I know some of my friends used to rant about Apple, and I was like, yeah, but they're better, especially for artists. But they're annoying thing where you have to unload the footage through iTunes. And then it causes this whole problem for me where my phone fills up and then I can't film anymore. And then I try to unload everything onto a computer, and then they're supposed to automatically delete off the phone and they don't. So then I go to record more recipes and the phone is full. So then going live is the solution because it doesn't store the video on the phone. But then the problem is now getting notifications. So this system can be improved upon, definitely. And I appreciate everyone watching now because in the future it will be better. But right now you're still tuning in, and I appreciate that because to me, I want to just hit it with a hammer sometimes. I prefer real life interaction. But some of you are in other countries, so this is the best way to meet and to share information. I'm from the US. What about you? I assume you're a musician, and so am I. I wonder what kind of music you're into. There's some other musicians I saw subscribing to my channel as well. A really awesome drummer, actually. You've been alkaline for 3 years. Excellent. Me too. There's a little bit of a lag, so I'm just... Oh, you're from California? Oh, you play hip-hop and soul? Interesting. Those are two genres that I do not play, but I would be open to it. I'd be open to jamming for sure. I have jammed with more than one rapper, so it is, so I'm a drummer as well, and as well as I play other instruments too. You've been vegan for 5 to 6 years. Nice. What drove you to finally going alkaline? Was it something that finally just fed you up, or did you have some kind of breakthrough moment, or was it a gradual shift over? Now I'm interviewing you for my podcast. I want to have guests on this podcast if it catches on. If you like this format, then I'm going to try to get some guests on here and interview them because I like asking a lot of questions. That's how I know so many things, is because I'm always asking questions. I never act. There's so many things I don't know. So when I go somewhere in public, I ask questions and pick people's brains about stuff. I'm like a curious child, and I'm probably going to remain that way my whole life. Even though I keep leveling up my awareness, there's still a lot of questions. Although my original questions are all answered, I have new questions. Matto music says it was a transition and a growing process. Okay, interesting. For self-healing. Absolutely. Well, congratulations for your 3 years, and keep it up. I'm sure by now you feel amazing as I do. So you could really help inspire some of my other viewers, because they're just, a lot of them are just getting started or struggling, going back and forth. So thank you for the feedback. It's inspiring. And it's good to meet other people that are doing it, for me too, because sometimes it gets lonely and, you know, some people don't get it. So it's great to be able to chat with people that are on the same type of adventure. The struggle is real, although it gets easier and easier and easier. Definitely. Well, welcome to the channel. I think this is my first time seeing you comment. If you're new, welcome. We have tons of new subscribers every month. I'm very excited. We're on track to be monetized this summer, which means I can do more giveaways and stuff like that, and upgrade my equipment. I need new cameras and new knives. Those are my first things that I'm going to be doing. My uncle makes knives. He forges knives. I did a video there, but I didn't publish it last fall. I might edit it and put it up here soon, because it was pretty cool. Would you like to see something like that? Because he was showing me his workshop for making knives. And to me, that's really interesting, because I use a lot of different knives in the kitchen, and I use them out of the kitchen. I mean, I've got this knife right here in my pocket just because it's very useful, and it's a tool. This one was a good one. Mass-produced one, but my uncle makes handmade, like one-of-a-kind. I think I will put that video out, because now that I talk about it. Also, there was footage of me throwing knives. That was pretty fun. And I have another video I recently filmed at my dad's farm making maple syrup. And I'm not sure how much footage that's going to be. It might be like an hour documentary. It might be shorter, I'm not sure. So I have to get all that footage. That I was mentioning a minute ago how I'm so frustrated with using this iPhone and MacBook setup is inefficient, because I have to get all the video footage off of my phone, then I have to put it on one of the computers, then I have to upload it to my, oh man, it's obnoxious. So that's why sometimes when you see a cooking video, it's a month old by the time it gets done. And the system could be better. Ideally, a good camera, you would just unplug the memory card, plug it into the laptop, done, edit. It's that simple. Usually, it should be. But Apple complicates it with their obnoxious iTunes ordeal. That's unrelated to what I usually talk about on this channel, but it is holding the channel back, I feel. And it's just, you know, if I had several thousand extra dollars, I've already spent several $1,000s on this channel and not made it back. So that's why I'm not buying new equipment right now. So then later I will upgrade everything and you will notice it, I hope. Should be better. But I'm constantly upgrading my information in here daily. That is another story. And I just got a new book in the mail I'm very excited about. The field guide to North American mushrooms. And I just took that sleeve off, but this book looks like it's going to be awesome. I'm really excited. Oh yeah, there are some nice ones. So now that it's getting warm out, I'm already getting ready to head out there and do some more mushroom hunting. So I have some videos, if you haven't seen them, last year. And yeah, this is a good find. Definitely got this. Used books sometimes are way more valuable than the internet. Matto Music said, I eat mushrooms every day. I'm growing mushrooms here. I have lion's mane and oyster that just were harvested today. So, but I'm juicing right now, so I don't eat mushrooms while I'm juicing. But yeah, we have to eat this coming weekend because there's we have like pounds and pounds of mushrooms in the fridge that are gonna go bad. So, yeah. When you have extra food, it's a good thing. There's abundance. My cup runneth over. Thank you so much for interacting. It's always fun to meet new people live. And I'm going to have live events in the future. If you didn't know, we're planning an event next February. I don't have the venue picked yet, but it's going to be somewhere hot and spectacular. So it's going to be only a small handful of people, probably 10 people or less. And we're probably going to do juicing, or maybe we'll just be eating alkaline food, my recipes. I'm not sure exactly. I also want to do an event. I want to do a special video where a subscriber, like we do some kind of giveaway or some kind of contest, and someone wins a dinner where I cook for them and film it for the channel. I think that would be really fun and really interesting. Rather than just see me eating my own food all the time, I think it'd be cool to serve it to one of you and on video. What do you think about that idea? And I have another idea. I've been hearing about some alkaline restaurants. However, I looked up, there's supposedly one in Atlanta, and I looked it up, and if it's the one that I found, I didn't think it didn't look very alkaline to me from what I saw on the menu. I don't know what they're talking about. So, Matto Music said, I cook too, a potluck. Well, I've been putting together a nonprofit organization that is taking longer than anticipated, but it's a long-term goal, I guess, to finish it, where I will have some other people on my channel volunteered to come help cook, and I want to do some kind of charity event where I probably wouldn't be cooking, but organizing everything and being the captain, that getting everything together and feed a bunch of people. That's one of the things I want to do, one of my goals. I have started a Patreon, but also you can check it out if you want. I started posting some behind the scenes stuff. There's a link in the description, and I don't know how that's going to work. You'll have to give me some feedback, what you think about it, because I was trying to put together the nonprofit this past year, and a lot of work needs to be done, and that's the kind of thing a lot of people say, like, yeah, that sounds like a great cause. And then when it's time to get it done, it's like, oh, everyone disappeared. So, it's hard work, so we'll see. If you're interested in that kind of thing, subscribe and stay plugged in. And if I need volunteers to cook for like a charity event, that would be really cool. And but I have other things that won't be charity events too, that will be like like a retreat for that will cost something. I mean, it'll probably be 1 week long or so, and I would like to do one in the summer, one in the winter. The summer ones will probably be somewhere like northern Michigan or Maine or somewhere like that, and the ones in the winter will probably be somewhere like, I'm thinking Florida Keys or yeah. Someone said Barbados, but I'm going to keep it probably in the continental US at this point. So that's what to look forward to in the future of this channel. Once we get it more organized and monetized and everything like that, if I can get the team of people together, we can help. On one hand, we can help feed some people alkaline food, and on the other hand, we can also have small events for ourselves, just in small groups. That's what I want anyway. Let me know. Let me know what you think. And I got a lot of thumbs up so far. Awesome. Thank you. I didn't see some of those came in and I didn't see them coming in. I appreciate that. Well, that's all for me. If you have more questions, let me know right now, and I will stick around for another couple minutes and see if you have any more questions or feedback. If not, we will get going. I will take a sip of Sarsaparilla tea while I wait for you to type your question. Oh, and my phone is going dead. I can plug it in if we want to keep going. If we've got good questions rolling in, I'll keep going as long as it takes. Are you enjoying this format? I'm going to try to do the Alkaline Vegan podcast possibly every day. I was planning on doing every day in April, and with a bunch of cooking videos that I have coming up on deck. And I also want to do podcasts like this, where I'm speaking about a specific topic or interviewing someone about something specifically related to my program or related to the channel. Whether they be, I'm going to try to get some good people. I have some people in mind already. I have a list going. So let me know who you would like to see me interview on this channel. Are there any like alkaline influencers or something like that that you follow that you want to see me ask them questions in a video form or on audio? Or anyone that's not necessarily vegan, but they are something related, like a mushroom expert or a breathing expert, something like that. That's what I'm thinking about for this podcast. But I'll take your feedback into consideration, because it's for you, not for me. All right, well, I don't see any questions coming in, so I'll probably end it here. But if you have questions and you're watching this in the replay, let me know in the comments and I'll do a video about it, or I'll just answer it right there in the comments section. Okay, Mato Music said Dr. Sebi's son, Victor. Okay, what's his last name? Is it Bowman or is it something else? I may have seen him before, I'm not sure. Thank you for the suggestion. I will see if I can get a hold of him and see if I can get him either to do a phone interview or a video Zoom call, depending on which will be a better quality, or what I can get people to agree to. Bowman, okay. All right, good idea. Thank you very much. That's great feedback. I appreciate it. Awesome. Farn Teres said, it's my first time here, but I think you deserve so much for reviews. Oh, thank you. Wish you much luck. I appreciate that. Thank you so much. That's very kind of you. We're getting there. We're getting there. I didn't know how YouTube worked for the first several years of my channel. So I have like over 200 videos right now. But now this last year, I put in the research specifically towards YouTube marketing and how it all works and everything. And I finally figured it out. It all comes down to the thumbnail and the title, mostly. And then, of course, it's about, getting people to watch longer is better. But if you don't have a good thumbnail, if you don't have a good title, you're done for. And a lot of my early videos are good content. It's, high-level topics, but I didn't understand how to do the thumbnails, and I didn't understand how to do the titles. So now I understand, so never too late. So my channel is picking up speed last year because of my spelt bread videos. Those are my best videos somehow. And a couple of my mushroom farm videos are really good as far as popular. But, I put the same amount of info into all the videos, but not all of them do well because it's all about the title, the thumbnail. And in the future, as I build it, I will hire some people to help. Because if you don't know, I've got like 3 or 4 business projects going on right now. And, all of my time doesn't go into Facebook or YouTube. So a YouTube title expert, or even someone equally as proficient in marketing as me that I can bounce ideas off of, would be fantastic. Someone on one of my recent lives offered to be my intern, but then didn't contact me. So where did you go? In all fairness, they could have tried to contact me on Facebook, and I haven't been on there in months. And you know what? My mental health has never been better. More juicing, less Facebook. That's my ultimate recommendation. And I know I'm just summing it up, very oversimplifying it, but would honestly get a pretty good result. So thank you for all the new people tuning in. I appreciate that. And I am constantly working on improving the channel. So it will keep getting better, slow and steady. Slow and steady. Now that the weather is finally nice, I can take some more videos outside, and I want to go camping more. Last summer, I did some cooking videos on a campfire. Hello, Shima. Last year, I did some camp cooking. I did one in a Dutch oven making tomato wild rice. It was fun, really good. And the cooking in the Dutch oven it cooks really well. It is better. I love cooking on a real fire with, wood fire. To me, can't get any better than that. So hopefully this summer I do some more cooking videos on the campfire, and that would be awesome for me for my own enjoyment, and hopefully it'll make for better videos too. Right now, I've got like 10 recipe videos that are in the works that should be coming out soon. And I should be blitzing April, should just be nonstop videos. So you can look forward to those. I've got some amazing recipes coming out. I cooked a lot of really good Mexican inspired food, and I cooked some. I've been, yeah, I've been doing some. Most of what I like, I tend to like spicier, more flavorful food. So I like a lot of Indian or Mexican or um, Middle Eastern spicier flavor. I like all kinds of foods from around the world, and I've been making all kinds of just different foods recently. So I'm trying to think of what videos that are coming out next. There are some really good ones. I've been making all kinds of amazing stuff actually. And then I've been just juicing now, and it's nice to take a break from cooking. Um, so I appreciate all the love and support. Farn says, I love camping and all the food tastes better outside. Yeah, definitely, definitely. I want to farm a lot more too this year. I've got a couple places. I mean, you'll see the video coming soon of the maple syrup, how they make maple syrup, and you can see my dad's farm. It's massive, and I've been thinking about farming there, but I'm already so busy that it's not that close by. If it was a little bit closer, it'd be easier. But I have a little farm in my windowsills and on my patio. I'll have little stuff growing like sage and thyme, and I grew some cherry tomatoes, but I want to grow just tons of cherry tomatoes and tons of something called, in Korean, it's called getnip. In Japanese, it's called shiso. I think it's called sesame leaf in English, but it's so good. I'll have to, when I grow it later this year, I'll have to show it to you because it's one of the best things ever. They have it in Asia. It's so cheap. It's like 50 cents for a bundle of it. And here you might be able to find it at some Asian market for like $3 a flake, but I couldn't find it at the Asian market around here. So yeah, it's one of the best greens or leaves ever, and I can't wait to grow it. I also am going to grow a bunch of habanero. Right now, just last night, I made habanero infused olive oil, a giant jar of olive oil, and I put like 30 habanero in it. That's going to be amazing in a couple weeks. Mato Music said, what recipes have you been juicing? Mostly just apple, just melon. Once in a while, if I use cucumber, I'll mix it with ginger or cucumber apple or something. I talked about that earlier in the video, probably before you tuned in. In this crazy times, the best time to start. Yes, definitely. Luckily, I grew up on a farm and I'm very good with plants. So for me, it's no problem. Now looking back to there's a lot of stuff I learned in my childhood, helping my dad fix tractors and stuff that I thought I would never, when is this going to be relevant? And I'm lucky to have grown up on a farm, crawling around through the weeds. And, there's amaranth growing wild. There's burdock growing wild. There's nettles growing wild. There's wild onion growing. I mean, I saw all that stuff growing up and I never knew it was edible other than I did eat the wild onions. But I didn't know dandelion root was edible. I didn't know burdock was edible. growing up. So now when I go back to his farm, it's like cha-ching, cha-ching. It's like I'm looking at burdock and nettles as far as I can see. Pretty cool. So I'll do more videos there. I took some videos there last summer, but I don't think I edited them. Some of them were more like a vlog style, and I wasn't sure if people would like that kind of video. So I'm not sure. I'll have to post a couple and see what you think. Like, mini adventures that I go on. I'm not sure if that's the kind of stuff for this channel or not. So I'll have to get your feedback on that. Because sometimes, when it's relevant, I definitely post it. Like the mushroom farm tour, I posted that definitely because that fits in. And the maple syrup, making it, I'm going to edit that and post it. That's coming up. That's relevant. But I have a video from years ago before I went alkaline where I filmed rice harvesting. It's on my other channel that is not about this kind of stuff. So that's funny that I was doing a farming tour before, but it wasn't. It was rice. Yuck. So yeah, this summer should be good. I should be planting. Also, my friend I have another friend that farms mushrooms, and he's giving me some that I can plant in the ground outside that will grow up in the garden in September. They'll just start popping out. So I'm going to try doing that this year. And I'm going to film as much of it as I can. So I'm going to be getting a GoPro as soon as possible. However, I'm trying to get the channel monetized first because it's just a money hole and not coming back. Down the money hole. But it's a good cause, and well, you have one more sub here, Farn. Thank you. Welcome to the channel. I appreciate it. I appreciate each and every individual person, and I hope that you can come to my live events in the future, that we can do just juicing and detoxing and talk in person, where I'm not censored and I can say whatever I want. That would be really great. So I'm looking forward to that. Next February should be the first one. Stay tuned for that. All right, we've almost been streaming for 1 hour. We've got 2 minutes left. So I'm gonna sign off in 2 minutes. Anyone with any final questions, you can ask it really quickly right now. And it's been great. Thank you so much for the interaction. New people tuning in and commenting, much appreciated. It's great to be able to connect with like-minded people from all over the world. Farn, where are you tuning in from? Are you in the US or somewhere else? I've got people from all over the world tuning in sometimes. Most of them are from the US though. US, UK, Canada, some from other places like Russia, Philippines, here and there. Hungary, okay, cool. Awesome, very cool. Wow, I've never been to Hungary. I'm trying to think if I know anyone from Hungary. I don't think I do. I used to own a restaurant on an island. It was a restaurant and bar in Asia, and I met people traveling from all over the world, and I met people from almost every country coming through. It was very interesting, and I love to chat with people from other countries because there's a different history and different information. Sometimes you can get good tidbits of info that is kind of not talked about in other parts of the world. So I love it. Welcome, welcome. Welcome everyone. So I appreciate all the love and support. It's been awesome. I'm going to keep doing these podcasts and I'll keep taking your feedback into account. Stay tuned for more recipe videos. Oh, somebody just called me and it interrupted my stream. All right, well, I'm gonna get going anyway, and I'm going to call them back. So, oh, the joys of streaming on a phone. I gotta get a GoPro and a new camera. All right. I have a Patreon if you want to donate. I'm not gonna beg or anything like that, but links in the description. Thank you so much, everyone, for interacting and watching. See you in the next video. Have an amazing day on purpose. And there's a lot of different info in the description. If you want below the video, you can check out some of those links. See you soon. Peace. Oh, hit the bell icon if you're just now subscribing, because it'll notify you when I go live next time. And you'll get a notification right away when I go live, and I go live a lot. So see you in the next live. Peace.